I am at another lovely house sit. Oh, you are not going to believe how I got here. Anyway, I'll tell you later. I'm just going down to the bottom of not the bottom, to the end of the garden, the beginning of the land, to pick some plums, because they need picking. So anyway, we'll see what we can do with the iPad for this vlog. So I was in, where was I? Somewhere. See, I don't even know. This is why I have a YouTube channel I have to look at my own, hang on a sec, where was I? Oh, that's where I was. I look through my camera roll on my iPad. So that's the only way I can keep up with where I was and when, and it's brilliant. So anyway, I was in Fundal, that's where I was, in an Airbnb before my next house sit. Now I'd seen that I felt and heard that the clutch was not sounding good on my car. If you don't know, and if you're new to my channel, in fact I should say, so I am of no fixed abode. I am house sitting my way around Portugal, exploring Portugal, and I love it. It's a fantastic way of getting to see the real Portugal and be really immersed in the community to find out what different places are like and spend time with wonderful, wonderful animals, hilarious pets, and enjoy pets while I can't have one or any or two or three of my own. So my car is my home and it's everything to me. If there's anything wrong with my car, I'm stuffed. So I could feel my clutch was going, and but the house sit that I was going to in a few weeks' time was a place that I'd been to before. And when I was at that place before, I had car trouble. I'd been to a garage. I had nearly 500 euros worth of work done on my car, and I could be getting totally, can't think of a nice word, taken for a ride rather than what was in my head. But anyway, I think they're okay. Oh, funny enough, I met one of my subscribers. Hello, is it Andrew? In the garage. And he was a bit of a geek in terms of the research he did into the garage. Or not everyone knows what I mean when I say garage, do they? Mechanic, mechanic, repair. Yeah, that's what I mean. Not like somewhere where you get fuel. So, yeah, so he had done his research, family run business. Anyway, see, I go on and on. What I'm trying to say is that's one of my go-to places. There's a place in Fundal and that place that I trust with my car. So I knew I was doing this house sit, and yeah, so I thought I'd just wait and I'd take my car there. Oh gosh, anyway, as I said, you wouldn't believe how I turned out at this house sit. But anyway, let's roll back to the vlog. I can't believe I've been in Portugal for over 2 years and I've been up the mountain, Sierra de Estrella, but not to the actual top bit where the ski slope is. Oh, it's so beautiful. So anyway, I'll show you, have a look. How wonderful is that? So that is Covia. I'm on the way up to the highest point of Sierra de Estrella. the bit where the ski lift and stuff is. Big hotel down there, more hotels, lots of cabins and things up there. Corvière just down there. Guarda is that way. Oh, let's carry on to the top. It should have taken me 40 minutes from where I was when I decided to come up here. It's now been about 2 hours. I left it so long before coming up here. There's the wishy round, whiz whiz whiz. There's the two big famous domey things, and the cows. It's like being in the Austrian Alps. I'll turn you round. My gosh, it is freezing up here. Now I knew it was cold. I brought my mat and jumper, but I had to put on a really thick woolly jumper because it is not cold, it is freezing. It's really cold. So I'm saying goodbye to this lovely house sit, and I am off not very far, just literally 15 minutes away for a very impromptu emergency, not emergency, but a very impromptu last minute house sit. So I've mentioned serendipity a few times before, but this sequence of events just beats them all. Some people will say, oh, it's just coincidences, but I don't know. What do you think? They're just too coincidental. So I was on this 3-week house sit, which was near where a repair garage was. So I knew I was going there, and I thought that would be perfect to get my clutch done. 3 weeks is plenty of time. So I took my car into the garage. They agreed, yes, it needs a new clutch. So I drove it back off, took it back, and they said, we'll get back to you with a price and everything. So in the meantime, I thought, right, I need to start looking for my next house sit. And I was having trouble finding one. I'd even started looking before, you know, the week before as well. And I was just having real difficulties finding one. Also, I did find one, the dates matched perfectly, but I was out when I saw the notification, and I thought I'll apply for that when I get home. But as I mentioned in my last video, Trusted House Sitters have changed something on their website, and they've got this really weird automation thing, which means you have got to apply for the house sits within the first few hours, otherwise it automatically shuts them off. Yeah, anyway, but it's just this weird thing, which means basically you've got to apply quite quickly. I got home, it was within the hour, but because I was too late, and I was thinking, so you couldn't apply for it because it's sort of closed off because of this automated thing. And then I was thinking, why is this so difficult? And I was thinking, what's the reason for this? Why am I being prevented from finding my next house sit? Well, coincidence number one, it then became apparent. The garage could not give me a date for my clutch to get done and book me in until after I'd left this 3-week house sit. It was actually the day after the house sit ended. So had I got this house sit where I didn't get to it within the hour, I would have had to have let them down. I would have had to cancel, which is something I have not done in 6 years of house sitting, and I never intend to do. I'm not in the business of letting people down. Once I say I'm going to be there, I will be there come hell or high water. So, because there's no way I could have driven my car off and gone to another area. It needed to get done while I was there near the garage. So that was just, I thought, there you go, that is why. Because any house that I would have booked, I would have had to cancel. So then I thought, right, I'm going to have to find a hotel or something just for these 2 days while the garage has got the car. Long story short, I then had a friend in the area who needed me to house sit, or thought, as I was around and I needed somewhere to stay, I could house sit for her. She had offered me to just stay there actually before that, but then she thought, hang on, if Louise is staying, I wonder if she could house sit for me just for 3 days. Perfect timing, because she needed to pop over to the Azores to look at some property. So, coincidence number 2, perfect timing. She needed someone for 3 days. I needed somewhere to stay for 2 days. I could walk to the garage to go after I dropped off my car and when I needed to go to pick it up again. Coincidence number 2. Then I still had the issue of booking my next house sit because I did have another one, but there was a gap of about 3 weeks. So while I'm at my friend's 3-day house sit, I'm looking for another house sit because I've still got a 3-week gap, about 3 weeks before my next house sit, which is a very long one, over a month. And so I find a house sit near Obidos on the Silver Coast. And I think, I used to live round there, but I lived there during COVID and it was very quiet and very surreal and it wasn't the real experience. So I thought I wouldn't mind spending a week there again. So I got that house sit and I then had another week or so gap. And so 3 o'clock in the morning, it was one of those nights, I am just actually in the process of messaging an Airbnb host because I thought I'd just book an Airbnb and get it done. I just wanted to know when and where I was going, and I didn't want to drive too far, so I was quite picky about being somewhere where I'm not driving a distance in between locations and sits. So bear in mind, this is the early hours of the morning. Because notifications come up on your screen, I see a notification come up for a house sit, and I click on it, and it is for, so this house sit, this gap that I've got is immediately after my 3-day sit with my friend. The Obidos one is nearer to, even that, the dates work perfectly, back to back for the long-term house sit. God, I hope you're keeping up. Anyway, never mind about the details. I needed to fill a date, and that date was within 24 hours. So I applied for this sit. The reason it was very last minute is because the homeowners were going to a funeral. So they really thought, God, we're not going to get anybody. I'm thinking I'm not going to find a house sit just for that week. And bingo, perfect. It suited them, it suited me. I messaged them obviously at 3 in the morning. I think 7 in the morning they messaged back, oh, you sound perfect, just a couple of questions. I always offer them a call, but they said, no, we don't need a call. We've looked at your feedback. It's great. You sound perfect. So coincidence number, what are we up to? Is this coincidence number 4? Perfect, right? Not only that, it is 15 minutes away from the house that I'm going to after. Now, the dates didn't totally match up. There was 2 days gap. However, that's where I am now. The homeowners have an apartment which they've just renovated. They've converted their garage, and I could stay there for the 2 days until they leave. Then I'm going to go upstairs and house sit the house and the dogs. So, boom. Coincidences? What do you think? What is that? That is woo-woo to me. That is more than coincidence. That is serendipity on steroids. And yeah, I don't know even if I've explained it properly very well, because I'm trying to remember the train of events, but everything just lined up perfectly, more than perfect. I mean, the house sits, the dates, 15 minutes from one to the other. The next one I go to perfectly passes my friend's house, where I want to go and pick up my bike, because I want to do the Eco Pista, which goes from Bezeu to São Pedro do Sol. São Pedro do Sol, yeah, I think so. I probably butchered that. One day. Oh, don't even talk to me about my Portuguese lessons. God. Anyway, I digress. So, blooming perfect. What can I say? Sorry, it's a bit noisy. There's builders just outside, but I have to film this now because I'll never be able to do it anyway. Which was close to, oh my God. Hang on. Oh my God. Right, I think they finished dragging stuff across the patio. So, where was I? The reason I said, oh, fuck's sake, I'm so distracted now. Jesus Christ. The reason I said I couldn't believe I was at this house. For fuck's sake. Oh God, I don't even know what I've said and what I haven't said now, because I've filmed this so many times. Right, take 27. Right, take 102. It isn't, but it feels like that. So, I am at this new house sit. Anyway, I don't even know, have I got anything else for this vlog? Who knows? Is the vlog finishing here? I can't remember.